Welcome to the podcast where we celebrate the diverse journeys of individuals, most especially those in the ministry. So today we are privileged to have a pastor in the house, somebody I consider to be a spiritual authority. He's a father. He has been in the ministry for quite a long time. Let's welcome Pastor Ebuka Augustine. Sir, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you so much.
It's a privilege to have you here, sir.
I'm so grateful being here.
Thank you. So how was the journey from the north over to this place?
Well, from the north to this place is quite distance. It's almost a 12 hours drive.
12 hours? Wow.
Yeah, it's 12 hours drive.
Yeah.
To go with the road, to go with the glory. While we are coming, we discovered that our government are really working on the highways, and we entered Lagos past 5 for the first time.
Yeah. You're welcome, sir. You're welcome.
You.
So before we talk to our audience, there is something I really would like to know. You know, I really don't know you too well. I just know you from being a pastor. So I would love you to share your background. Tell us about yourself, how you started, your upbringing, and the rest of it.
Well, I'm from Imo State. That turned out precisely from Akopa.
Okay.
Only here the Mokwara. I grew up in the village. I stayed 3 years in the village before I came to town. I stayed virtually all my lives in the north. There I married my wife, met my lovely wife, Mercy Ebuka.
Yeah.
God bless me with 3 kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how is your father, like growing up in your father's house? How is the family, is like your dad and your mom? How did they bring you up?
Well, I want to appreciate God for the privilege of having my father to be a father to me and to my siblings. Well, it's a painful thing. I lost him last year.
Wow.
He slept in the Lord last year. But the truth of the matter is, being a child to him, he also a father to me. He helps bring out divine and God's purpose over my life. You know, when you're growing, you will have this youthful perseverance. You want to misbehave, but his actions, his moves, guided us right.
Yeah.
Seriously, I want to appreciate God for his life. I want to thank God so much for giving me a dad like that.
Yeah, very profound. So typically you grow up from a Christian family.
Yes, my dad happens to be an elder for 18 years in CPM.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
18 years in CPM.
Now that is very profound.
Yeah.
So now I want you to talk and share your history, how you find your way towards becoming a pastor. At what point in your life did you know that you are called to be a pastor? Share it with us, sir.
Well, I remember 1995.
1995.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was my 2 years of joining CPM. We attended CPM Morocco. The north there, and one of the days we came to service, I had a young evangelist, very young, 12 years. The best of Evangelist Raphael. He came, and after ministering, he called me out in the congregation and said, "This young man has a call."
Wait, at what age were you there?
But I was between 15, 16.
Okay.
15, 16 or so.
Yeah.
Then that was I was so happy that I'll be a pastor. So I was so excited. And later, Reverend Daddy Toby came to the north at CPM officer. Then we moved to officer. He came. I was the coordinator in Edo State. And while he was to leave, he called me. I'm a dad in the morning. I still made the same statement. So I grew up having this awareness.
Yeah.
And how they call it.
Yeah.
So when I began to have some revelations, seeing myself minister in the public, in the dreams, and doing crusades. So I had this conviction that I had a call.
Okay.
Not really only from the ministers, but I also had a conviction. Yeah, it's true revelation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after that moment, that prophetic word came, when you were 15 years old. So what are the practical steps you took? Like, did you enroll for a Bible school, or what was the space between when you were 15 to this time? What were the challenges you faced?
Well, at that point, I had this zeal for the work of God.
Yeah.
Then I could remember during this work of evangelism in Mississippi, around saying in the north. Rain will be falling, we'll be singing this song. There's all this Igbo song, right? Rain beats me, the rain beats me, the sun shines. I will follow Jesus to the end. So we'll go for evangelism, and they then will beat the head of us. The song will strike down there. But the truth of the matter is, I kept holding on until I made some friends that made me lose balance. You know, the Bible said, beware of your cancer. Psalms the ones he said, don't dwell, be careful of the people, be careful of the friends you keep. He said, don't be in the midst of discomfort, sinners, because they will entice you. And the scripture said, my son, when sinners entice you, do what? Consent you not. But to me, I felt free and I consented, and they left me astray to the point that I had to start smoking. I could drink a carton of beer. A time came, I went to one bush with some friends, bought Top Squad, bought weed, had to pour it into the hot for it to ferment. While it was fermenting, I was still smoking full scap, wrapped the full set of. I was smoked and smoked. That day I smoked the hell out of my life. I got home, I began to vomit, but that did not stop.
Yes.
In my mess, thank God for my mother, who constantly told me, no matter what you do, you will answer the call.
Yeah.
So carelessly, I freed myself to my friends. I was initiated. I left the original footprint of my destiny, and I began to mess up. The time came, I joined courtism in school. And after a while, they were looking for us. They arrested our leader, Axman, then one guy from Kubwa. I met him after so many years I left school. He was arrested and taken to a lorry, and everybody was on the race. And one of the days, I discovered a friend met me. He was other court group, a boy, and said to me, "As I'm talking to you now, you better leave this environment, because they have gone to Miami, the Axman headquarters. They have seen your picture and the form you feel. So leave this land."
Wow.
So I
read from court voice.
Yeah. I happen to have something good with the younger sister those days. And so with that friendship, he had to still confide in me. So I'm just doing things because a relationship you and my younger sister had. I'm just doing you a favor. Just leave the school. So I left, got to BBC, and be that then the capital, and they said, I just got there, and one of my friends said to me, he said, "Come to my house." I went to his house, slept. He said, "I know they are looking for you, because the school authority requested for soldiers from Mina to come into school to pick every court boy." So while I had it, I went to town. So my friend said, "I will give you this charm that one native doctor gave me. Apply it on your head." I did apply it, but I had severe headache throughout the night. I woke up in the morning, I said, "No, I left Bida. My parents never knew for the past 1-2 months. I was out of school." Getting to Suland, close to 3 days, the barracks, the officer in there, I stayed with a harlot who accommodated me in a room.
Wait, sir. This is too much. Wait, I want to get something.
Yeah.
You mean all these excesses and God still keep you in His way.
No.
He wants to make use of you.
See, the Bible said, out of Egypt, I call my prophets.
Yes.
And God had to send Jesus back to Egypt. He said to Joseph, take him to Egypt.
Yeah.
When the man that seeketh after his life is dead, I will tell you to come with him.
Yes.
So, despite his excesses, grace that appeared to all men was still available. So, when I got to the bar, she kept me there for 3 good weeks. She could sleep with me, keep me there. We could go to a bar center. One of our friends had a bar shop. Once it's 6 p.m. on Sunday, we enter the shop, sit down there, light candle, smoke, drink, play gamble till the next morning, 6 a.m. And they came, I took my mom's phone to the place, played gamble with it, they collected this and
So
wow.
Sir, this story is so heavy. But the question is, have your past come hunting for you? Like those things you've done. Has any time in your life, after leaving those paths, has it come hunting for you? Probably from the friends you've made, from the relationships you made. Have they come hunting for you?
Yes, you need to place your stand where you are standing. You know, I met after I left school, I met one of my friends, our then leader. I met him in Kubwa. I was heading to Bible school. Then he said to me, where are you going to? I said, can't you see what I'm carrying? He said, I don't understand. I said, yes, I'm now in Bible school. He said, are you really sure of what? I said, yes. By then, I was only running for my bachelor in theology. The first I was to enroll in Bible school. I came back from Ubola Ofeberia with my dad. In between Ubola 4, I told my dad, I said, when I get back to Abuja, I want to go into Bible school. The guy was happy. So when we got back home, we got in on Saturday. Monday morning, I picked my bag. On my way to Bible school, Pius saw me, Polygon. I said, where are you heading to? I said, I'm going to Bible school. The guy laughed at me. He laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed and sat on the floor. He couldn't control himself. He said, where did you say you are going?
So,
I said, I'm going to Bible school. He told me like this, your brain is touching. So I needed to go to a brain reset. I said, no. And that was how I made it up. Then later, the girlfriends came back. But the truth of the matter is, once you have laid your hands upon the plow, they don't look back.
Wow. Yeah. Your story is very, very, very profound. Like, I could relate when I had my own calling too.
Yeah.
My past friends I've made while in school, Chooks, you be pastor. So all your members and go suffer for your hand. So I can relate to what you're saying. Now, the topic we are discussing today, we are talking about the voice of the one crying in the wilderness. Now you're a pastor in the north, serving under CPM, if I'm not.
Yes, Christian Pentecostal Mission.
So how is doing ministry in the north like? Like, for how many years have been pastoring a church in the north now?
Well, roughly 14 plots.
14 years. Wow.
That's 14 plots. Well, I didn't start with CPM first.
Okay.
I joined, first of all, was 2009. I came for an interview in CPM. I didn't know how it happened, but probably don't wanted me to have another experience.
Yes.
My file disappeared from the offices and they couldn't trace my file.
And you went for the interview?
I went for the interview. After the interview, I called. They said they couldn't find my file. I said, how? They said the thing disappeared, they can't find it anywhere. So I said, okay. So I had a family pastor, Rev. Boniface Mugu, late memory. He had a ministry. And he told me, I want to open Divine Favor Bible Church. I said, no problem. So he brought me in. I stayed with him for about a year or two. Then he moved me to Madala branch. we were 3 persons in number. I, my wife, and Pastor Zomta.
Okay.
We were told to start up the branch. And there God helped us. Less than a year plus, we clocked 120. Yes. Year plus, we clocked 120. The next year, we are looking for where to buy land.
Wow.
And we got to Amako, opposite, just very close to Amako Farms.
Yes.
In Madala there. And there was this mortuary that was left, one Dr. Wisdom. So before the place developed, he was only in the mortuary, and people started complaining, how would they be living within that? Somebody's doing a mortuary.
Yeah.
So they wrote to the local government. They stopped him. So he left the dead bodies there and went to Enugu, traveled to Enugu, relocated. So after some years, I was told that place was vacant. And we are told to go for it. The members said they can't go there
because of the mortuary.
And they had about 15 dead bodies inside.
Wow.
Some of them, they
Wait, sir. Sorry. Is the mortuary and the church, are they in the same?
Not too far.
Okay.
It's trackable, less than 2 minutes.
Okay.
So I told him, I said, let's buy the mortuary. And the people insisted and said, the pastor, no, that's okay. Should we demolish the mortuary? Then build and see if you demolish, we agree. So God helped us, we were able to pay some money. The land was for 1.750. So we raised it, demolished it, removed the 15 dead bodies.
Wow.
Buried it. The remaining bones, I gathered them into Ghana Moscow, blessed it, they moved it, demolished it. The particular mortuary itself was turned to the altar.
Wow.
Then it made a capacity of 1,200. Before I left, almost 130.
Wow.
The day I resigned, those in attendance were about 98. And
so sorry to cut you short. I remember there's somebody I know that wanted to buy a land, and in this particular compound there is a dead body graveyard there, like about 3 of them. So there is this fear of, don't buy a land that there is dead body, that there will be spiritual, you need to do some spiritual cleansing. If not, you'll be having issues with all these demonic spirit and the rest of them. So after the church you were serving with bought those land, did you experience any spiritual attack or any demonic attack based on where that location or has been used for a mortuary something before?
Before I go towards it,
okay,
you must know that before you lived here, people have been living here before.
Yes.
Before they relocated, moved to another place.
Yeah.
I remember a few saying, well, my dad bought his piece of land. When they were digging the foundation, they dug human bones. So people have been living there before you came. So whether you like it or not, you have 10 dead bodies in the place. They are dead, they are dead. They have gone to eternity for their own judgment. So to you, they decay. So the fear of anything up there, there's nothing. I didn't say anything. All I did was, in fact, a friend told me, I know he's a fake pastor. I don't want to call his name. He said, I bought a land, mortuary. He said, yes. He said, let me come and tell you what to do. In less than 2 weeks, that place will blow up. I said, okay, I'm not a native doctor, I'm a pastor. And so the truth of the matter is, wherever you are living, you have lived there before.
Yes.
So if you buy a house and there's nobody there, for me, I would say cement body to get that to the floor and lay your foundation. Yeah.
So share your experience. How is doing ministry in the Northeast? Have you encountered any challenges in terms of security wise and any other challenges you've encountered in doing ministry in the North? Because I know doing ministry in the North, the last time we visited North, and you were part of the minister that preached to us, like I was trying to see the environment, how is pastors coping in this environment when what I saw there was nothing to write about. So in your own case now, how is doing ministry in the North like for you?
First, I have lived all my life in the North.
Okay.
I can speak their language,
Okay.
and you must know how to follow them.
Okay.
They like respect. And if you want to show them you know more than them, you have issues.
Oh.
Some of us will have issues because one, we are not used to them. We just came in from another state and probably coming to show that one of our pastors said they came around and discovered that some people are threatening his life because they felt that he's over praying. And the truth of the matter is, even if you pray, you don't concern them. The only challenge you will have is, if you have a church here, you want to plant a mosque by the side. And when you're having your services, they don't have their prayers. So you don't have issues with them. The one is going for evangelism. But where we have much issues is when you go to locality, you discover that you have much of Muslims than Christians. They have to do external evangelism. But the truth of the matter is, in every locality, but don't forget that every Muslim you see is a Christian in the process. I did a Thanksgiving last year, and one of this that morning after doing our worship, a lady with a jab walked into this house. From the worship to share the grace, she was there. And somebody said to me, Pastor, I said, we follow up. Every Muslim you see is Christian in waiting.
So, in terms of finance, there is a minister of God that was saying that pastors that reside in the West over here in Nigeria now, they tend to get more financial favor. So how have you been coping in terms of finance to move the ministry? Because I know every ministry needs money to push it forward. So how have you been coping? Do you have any source of financial income to sustain you and the ministry?
Finance ministry is a serious matter. And if you are not doing anything and you're dependent on tithe and offering, you can make success in ministry. I have counted and pointed most of our fathers in faith, and I discovered that most of them are into one business or the other. And I will also advise other pastors who are listening to me, you don't run ministry basing everything in church. Try to lay hands on something so you could also support. You see, first and foremost, in whatever you are doing, don't feel that the only people who will receive the blessings are the church members. They are working for their blessings. You, the pastor, you're also working for your own blessing. So whatever they are doing, supporting the work, you also do something to support the work. If you're dependent on them, you will struggle in ministry. And a day he comes to church, we have a pastor, I got to hear of a pastor who, every time he comes to church, he say, you don't want to give me money, you don't want to support me. And the next thing they begin to cause God will punish you, this and that and that. Once he's doing it, he shouldn't forget that whatever he says comes to pass. And if you begin to curse them, if you call a child a fool, the child will become a fool before you. So, at any time you curse your members, you also return the curse back to you. So, it has not been easy. But thank God I'm doing a little business. So, whatever I do once in a while, I bring money from there to support
ministry. So now, what do you advise? Look at the situation of Nigeria now. Our economy is going down, Naira is falling parallel, and everything is just going haywire. So I want you to advise the youth out there, most especially those younger ones that want to probably become a pastor like you are, or just generally want to succeed in life. What advice would you give to them?
Somebody said, those who becomes pastors are those who do not have future. But
wait, let me cut you short. Sorry. Let me just share my own personal experience. I remember when like you said, you heard got your calling when you were 15 years old. My own was not that social. I was 20 something, 28, 25 when God spoke to me for the first time. So when God spoke to me, the thing was so real. Like, I did a family meeting. Not small family meeting. I called our extended family. I gathered all of them. I told them we want to have a meeting for the first time. And everybody was eager to come and hear what we want to say in the family meeting. So I told them that God has spoken to me. And God told me I'm going to be a pastor.
Okay.
Everybody started to laugh. Say, now you can't gather all of us here for meeting. So the enthusiasm is there.
Yeah.
The energy is there to serve the will of God. So what should be your advice for people like us that wants to do this ministry thing? Not just ministry in general, that wants to succeed in life and endeavor just the life.
First, you put God first. He has the footprint of your destiny. So, and second, commitment. And thirdly, be careful of inner tsunami.
Inner tsunami.
If you don't deal with it, your destiny is in jeopardy.
And by inner tsunami, you mean what?
You see, first, you will deal with your inner self.
Okay.
Am I really sure for this thing? What sank Peter was inner tsunami. There was a call already come. And he said to Jesus, should I? He said, come. So he began to walk on the water. Just like there was a call, come. And he started following. The nice thing is, this journey, will it end well? Will I be able to succeed? What if on the way I find it difficult to feed? How do I survive? The time came, my wife was making soup with 150 naira. Yes, soup. Now, look at it. She will buy draw, okra, then oil, pepper, okra fish, and salt. That is a soup. That's what I told you from the beginning. I said, thank God for my father. He didn't bring me because he asked me too money. Hey, come bring him in and let him squander it. He let me stand on my own. Let's see how he survived without me. And that is the point. Every parent should come to a point and say, let's see how, because tomorrow we will lose our parents. So whatever they implant in you today, either makes you or destroys you tomorrow. So if you don't deal with this inner tsunami of fears in life, you won't make it. So you must understand that in every sea, there is accessible road. In every area of life, success is possible. But when you refuse to deal with it, what's the possibility of making it? Can I make this? Will I fail? What if I didn't succeed? We're already failing already. So Peter said, what if I sink? And he began to sink. To deal with your fears, deal with that challenge inside. Anytime you're able to do, and somebody said, do you know that no weapon fashioned against you shall do what? Prosper. But the way you fashion against yourself definitely prospers. So walk on your inner tsunami. Subdue flesh. Subdue your fear. Success is possible. What we have, the challenge we have in Nigeria is that our youth feels that going into your own is the best thing. They can't be focused that dealing with your fears brings you to success. The only is, I might not succeed, and they go into your own. The issue now is, the people you go to, Satan does not have anything good to offer. True. Whatever he has given to them, please hear me, whatever he has given to the youths who have joined their rule is their destiny, not the devil's own. The devil don't have anything good to give. Whatever he gives is your destiny.
Yeah.
Now, between the 20, 30 years you're supposed to live, he compresses it together and gives you a destiny now. So you eat your future and feel that they are the one giving you. No, what they're giving you is your property. They just compress your destiny, your entire life, and present it to you. That's it.
So let's talk about this. Let's talk about this issue now. You just raised. There's a video I saw online. A young guy trying to defend this Yahoo boy of a thing, Yahoo thing. So he was saying all the good side of Yahoo, doing Yahoo. He mentioned most of the good house you're seeing in the city now are owned by fraudulent people. Most of the good jobs they produce, the hotels, the petroleum station you see are being built by fraudulent people. He was saying that the Yahoo boys have even done more good to the Nigerian economy than even the governments themselves. So I was watching that video and I saw on the comment section whereby young guys were like encouraging, go on, you are saying the truth. Yahoo is paying us, don't mind government and everything. So you live in a country whereby there is no support system to encourage you to pursue your career, like to be a pastor, to be a doctor and everything. You'll be tend to do all those fraudulent acts. Like I do have them as friends, even for my immediate family. Is probably God has been helping us. So what would you say as regards to that? You say I should not do Yahoo. I should focus on my career. Yet my career I've been focusing, nothing is coming out from there. And I have somebody 15 years old, 18 years old that probably just do one or two things and started cashing out. So what would you advise somebody wants to do illegal something to get money for himself?
First, the Yahoo issue. Let me give you a little. Yes, they might say that he's paying them.
Yeah.
But in disguise, he's wasting their lives. There's a story I heard of an Igala man from local jar. I think Igala man. He's a native doctor. Now, when you get to his place, you know how true it is, but I had it from a reliable source.
Yeah.
He lived within the native doctor. He said, sir, he discovers that there is this man in our environment. He's a native doctor. And inside a particular room, he has 2 chicken, hen, 2 hen. He said he will keep them hungry for 3 days. After 3 days, he will wait for the next Yahoo boy that will come. And once they come, he will bring out a cup of rice and give it to the boy who is seeking to be a Yahoo.
Oh boy.
I said, pour it in that room. We will stay here and watch the hen eat as many as possible. If he eats up to 20, he will live 20 years. If he eats up to 2, he will live 2 years.
Yes.
So they will stay. They will stay for 2 hours. The hen will only eat some 2, some 3 pieces.
Imagine a hungry hen.
Hungry hen. So this is satanic witchcraft to deceive the people and lead them to hell. Because whatever you get from the devil, he's seeking for your head.
Yes, it's true.
You might not have a good system that helps our youths. But if you beg and somebody refuses to give you, will you go into robbery? So the best thing is this: if you have gone to school and your profession is not helping you, learn a handwork. When I did this at a ministry, I went into farm. I found melon. I found beans. I found corn, maize. I also had a poultry. So go into something. God can bless you without you doing something. And if you say, okay, you're waiting for the government, and the government did not help you, won't you help yourself?
Yeah.
So why are you dependent on the government? Is it our fathers who say you are the future leader of tomorrow? So how will it be where they are padding and taking and looting us? And you are saying you're waiting for. Please, our youths, don't wait for anybody. Take your destiny by force. Right from the days of John the Baptist till now, the kingdom of God suffering violence, and the violent take it by force. Don't join Yahoo. Anybody advising you to join them is an enemy waiting to destroy your life. Get things doing. Look for handwork. Go into farming. I was hearing Pastor Matthew Shomolo.
Yes.
He said he bought over 300 acres of land.
Yeah.
He went into farming. So if our fathers at that time go into farming, youths, please, farming pays. If you can't feed your community, at least the family can feed you and your family. Thank you.
That is very, very profound. Thank you very much, sir. But before we round up, let me just ask you this question now. Do you consider yourself to be a voice in this ministry? In the body of Christ generally?
First, I would say I'm a voice. I'm standing behind Christ. So I'm speaking from behind. But the truth of the matter is, they are all called into one thing. Calling men back to God. So we are reconciling men. Paul said to Philemon, he said, Philemon, I know Onesimus stole from you. To Philemon, chapter 1. He said, Proverbs 1, he said, I know Onesimus stole from you, but at the cost of preaching the gospel, he has been redeemed. Please, we are sending him back to you to make restitutions. So, we are called to remain, to reconcile men back to God. My privilege and by God's grace has given me the grace to be a voice. On my own part, I am.
So now, this you've been doing ministry for 14 years.
Yes.
Your story resonates with that of John the Baptist in the scripture. Now I want to ask, have you ever been challenged by your fellow pastors? Because there is this trend now in the body of Christ where you see one pastor calling out another pastor. This one will say this one is fake. This one will say this one is not fake. Like exchanging direct or indirect words of accusation and this thing. So in your own little sphere, have you ever been accused by a fellow pastor, or have you ever been challenged or faced one difficulties from a pastor?
Yes, I was transferred from our state headquarters at Papa to Madrid. And when I was introduced, the next Saturday happened to be a wedding within the locality. And the person who was wedding happened to be a CPMite, but had some challenges and left CPM and joined, I won't call the name of the ministry. So, and while I went with the former pastor there, he got there. After the wedding, he introduced me to the pastor. He said, this Pastor Ebuka Augustine, our new pastor here in Madrid. So we exchanged pleasantries and we shook our hands. The next thing I heard from him is this. Do you know that pastors fight? When I called the name of the ministry, it will shock you. So do you know that pastors fight?
Or is he saying it in an aggressive manner, or they're just saying it to people?
That was the first time we have ever met. So we have not discussed before. We have not seen before. My first was meeting you first. After introduction, the next thing is, do you know that pastors fight? So there's already a thought in his heart. But after a while, I discovered that some Catholic members were coming to CPN. One of the Sundays, the members came and called me, They said, our Reverend Father is addressing you from our church. That they should stop going to that church of that man. so it's obvious. So the truth of the matter is, the problem we have in the body of Christ is we believe that we are fighting ourselves. The things that you're coming to take my member, I don't come out for members. I preach the gospel, go for evangelism. And if God brings you, I thank you. So, but they could have, see, the problem we have in ministries is fear.
Yeah, yes.
When you have been better, the other person, the other side will feel that you want to snatch his member. And the next thing is, they will go and put some poison and begin to do one thing or the other to make sure they frustrate you. Yeah. So I have experienced that in ministry. It's not new. It will continue. It will continue.
As well. Thank you very, very much, sir. It has been a nice section talking with you. But before we round up, there's one thing I've noticed about you. If I used to tell my fellow colleagues that there's this thing you usually say anytime you climb the pulpit, when you grab the mic, the first word that will come out from your mouth is, it is a privilege and not a right. I took that right. Like I started saying it. And one thing that it did for me is that it started giving me a mindset that God can use anybody. No matter how gifted you are, God can choose to put you aside and use a donkey to do his ministry. So my point is, I've learned something about from you, which is humility. And I would say that has been what has been keeping you from what I've observed so far. So now, before we round up, I just want you to give your word of advice to everybody out there. What would you say has kept you as a pastor? Or what is the secret factor that will keep every pastor flourishing? Because I do hear some preachers, 5 years, 10 years, no more in the limelight again. Some give it take 15 years highest. But here you are, 14 years and still counting. So what has been the major secret for you?
Maintaining the flame. If you don't maintain the flame, you will fade away. And while you're maintaining the flame, humility must be involved.
Yeah.
Know that it's a privilege.
Yes.
That you are called to be a minister. Once pride comes in whatever you are doing, you will sink. Pride goes before a fall.
Yeah.
So every pastor, every youth, I was talking with somebody last week and said, in ministry, it is humility and the respect and maintaining the flame that keeps you burning, and you can't go down. And when you call it arrogancy, and you call it pride, you will sink before you get to your destination. So please, people out there, my friends, my watchers, my viewers, and my colleagues, and my hosts, and the house, then I will see them doing a great work. Thank you for bringing me. Look at this. If you don't value yourself and you don't value others, you will fail in life. You have people out there that are men stationed to help you.
Yes.
Not only you being maintaining the flame, not only having humility and respect, you must learn to value everybody. One of the Sundays, I told one of our young men, I said, preach. And he began to sing, and power came down massively. And I just sat in where I was. In the first ministry, I came to the church and I said to them, Pastor was seated and power still came down. He said, yes. I said, God does not respect persons. Your sacrifice determines what God does with you. But if you feel that you are too big, pompous, and disrespectful, God will still use you because He has released the grace on you. But gradually you will fade away. Love your enemies, love yourself, love God, and prepare for His coming. Soon He will still come.
Okay, so sir, we have a question from one of our viewers online. His name is Anonymous. So he's asking, sir. He said, Pastor, sir, is it good for the pastor? Is it good for a brother who is not married to become an active pastor in the ministry? For a single brother to be an active pastor, like pastor a church or a congregation, is it right for that person to be an active pastor?
Well, on that note, you see, the Bible said that we are people who are made eunuch by men, some by God. Paul said, if you are married, you live like one who is married. And if you're not married and you could hold yourself, then go ahead. But the truth of the matter is, in this end time we are into, you could discover that in social media, you could see nudity everywhere. And it's affecting the people. I would advise our young men, if you know you can't stay, please marry. And if you know you could hold on, then. But to my own advice, I prefer any pastor sent to any branch, or once you are brought into a ministry, you are expected to be a married man. Sorry, let me take you back a little. Just take 1 minute. When I was still in Bible school, one of the reverends called me, Reverend Tony Mule called me. Then in Motherland, and somebody gave him my number. He called me. I said he wants to see me. I go to the church premises. I met him in his office. And he heard from me. I got to know him. He has been a family friend for a long time. So I felt meeting him, I've become an assistant pastor already. So when I got to his office, he said, call me by my name. I said, are you married? I said, no, sir. He said, can you get married the next 3 months? I said, sir, me, I can't get married in the next 3 months. He said, why? I said, it's God that will give me a wife. I have to pray till I get access. He said, then you're not serious. You don't need to be a pastor. And that was how I lost it. So if he can make a strong stand and say, I need to be a married man before I become a pastor. You see, everything goes for our youth this period. This time we're into, this end time, they feel that they can do anything. And once they are doing anything they want to do, people want to side and support whatever they think that is better. So the truth of the matter is, to pastors, the ministry work you are into, marry, don't stay single. Sorry, our father, Pastor Kumu, you traveled for a program. And they never believed he came with his wife. He told him from onset that he was not coming with his wife, he will only come alone. And the man, all of a sudden, God told him, take your wife and go. So when they got to the hotel room, the next morning, somebody was knocking at the door. And he wanted to stand up. Holy Spirit said to him, lie down and send your wife. The wife stood up, opening the hotel room. A lady, stark naked, hugged the wife, and look at photographers, cameramen, covering the thing, luckily for them. It was the wife, not
the husband.
So what would have happened if the wife was not with him? So his ministry would have died. So the truth of the matter is, please, let me know, Bishop Idahosa was in his office. A lady walked in. He's a married man. So if married men are being tempted, what will happen to single young men? Please marry. You know be firewood. Now flesh dey your body marry.
Thank you very much. So that was very insightful, and I think the main purpose is to just for keeping you not to fall as a minister.
That's true.
So there's a lot of temptation that will be eroded away just because you're married.
You're married.
Yeah.
Then you think being married, some ladies are still eyeing you.
Yeah. Thank you very much, sir. It is a privilege to have you here to minister to us. So thank you. I think our viewers have enjoyed your section, and we'll be glad to have you here again and again. Thank you very much, sir, once more again. All right, guys. It has been a wonderful section with our pastor in the house, Pastor Ebuka Augustine, who has shared a lot of things with us. Please, guys, make sure you watch all the video from the beginning to the end. Our next guest is going to be a surprise minister. Trust me, you guys look forward to it. Our video is going to be dropping very, very soon. And please make sure you guys watch, like, and share these videos. And see you some other time. Bye-bye.